Hey guys, it's Eddie from 20 Eggs, and today, like promised, I wanted to take a look at Bloodborne. I honestly think this is the best quote-unquote Souls game that they've done yet. So I'm going to load up my dude here, who's I'm going to put quite a few hours into this one, and we'll check it out. So first thing we'll notice here is that load times really suck in this game. I mean, you're talking like 45 seconds to a minute in between like deaths or loading into different areas. Um, Usually going back to the Hunter's Dream, which is kind of your hub world. But yeah, so anyway, you can the feel of this game is very Soulsy, like just the wiggly jerky animation, all that. That's all good. So this is the Hunter's Dream. So in my game right now, the moon is out. Time sort of passes after you do certain things in the game. Like it's not like a day-night cycle or anything like that. So it's kind of small. So down here, the only thing that I've seen um, is tutorials outside of bloodstains. Like you get these little messengers, which kind of add a little layer to seeing messages from other players. Like your goon squad, comes out and gives you the messages, and these just kind of helps you learn the game. So that's all I've really seen in here outside of this gate that I still cannot open. So there's probably something there eventually, but as of right now, there is nothing. You get this doll here. She is a doll, not a real lady, apparently. She levels you up, just like, the lady in black and all that kind of stuff. Usually there's a hunter dude here. I have not seen him in a while, so that's kind of crazy. But yeah, this is kind of where you do all your upgrading. So you end up finding these, I think they're like workshop tool things, basically, where, now I can fortify my weapon to give it, use blood shards and blood echoes. By the way, everything is blood in this game. You use that to upgrade your weapons. You can see I'm still using the Hunter Axe from the beginning of the game, but it has +5. And I did my pistol a little bit too, just to give it a little bit of a knockback. And I'll get into the pistol stuff, or the gun stuff, I should say, in a little bit. But yeah, so you get your basic upgrades. You can, repair them, which, you don't repair armor in this one, so really you're just kind of repairing your weapons, which is basically nothing. They have this new thing called Blood Gem Fortification. So, like, for example, I pull out this Hunter Axe here, and I've got these 2 slots that it has for blood imprints. And, like, this one takes 2 of the, I don't know, like that shape of one or whatever, but these will add different stats to your attacks or to your weapon or something. So, this one's, I actually really like this because, even some of them give, physical attack up. I thought one of them gave me, actually a health up too. Yeah, HP continues to recover +1. So yeah, there's a little bit more depth in that stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. But it's not overly complicated, so it doesn't annoy me, which is nice. Yeah, there's all of these graves here on the side are for the chalice dungeons, and those are new to the game as well. So you get a chalice, and I think you can put certain things into that chalice, which randomly generates a multi-floor dungeon for you to play through. And you can go into it as many times as you want. You can take this off and put a new chalice in there and put something else in it to get you a different dungeon. And you can even co-op these dungeons with your friends. And one nice thing they have done, speaking of the co-op, if you go into network and your system settings, you can actually do password matching. So I could write, pizza in here, and then if I want to play with my friends and not get hit by random players, when I try to do, beckon them into the game, so long as we have the same password written in our network, they will pretty much always, I've never run into it, not bring your buddy into the game instead. And that's my dual shot getting low. Let me plug that in real quick. So yeah, and in this one, it's not, you don't have to worry about humanity and inhumanity or being hollow or anything like that. You don't lose health when you die. They've actually made this game, I think, one of the easiest Souls games. I say it's a Souls game, even though it's not a Souls game, but you know what I mean. So I think it's one of the easiest ones up this ilk, but it's really good. I think it's super fun. And so if you do want to do multiplayer, they do have these items, the resonant bells, and the beckoning bell. So if you want people in your game, you use the beckoning bell. If you want to be summoned into a game, you use one of these, obviously, to co-op or to attack. Now, I know some people are like, oh, well, now it takes away some of that random element for people invading your game, but it really doesn't, because in, like, say, Dark Souls, if you had humanity, if you were human, that's the only time you can get invaded. So if you just never put yourself back to human, you never got invaded. So we'll just go in this first little area here. I actually think the graphics look better later in the game when the moon comes out instead, because I think the lighting and stuff looks a lot better, so it makes the game pop a little better. So I think this game does look quite a bit better than the stuff they've done before. It's not that highest end PlayStation 4 game, which, by the way, this is exclusive on. But the Souls games have never been the type of game that is pushing graphical stuff, and that's fine. It doesn't need it, and it looks good. So it's all about the style and art. And the previous Souls games, they go for more of, like, fantasy, dragons, magic, and stuff. I think more Transylvanian. You've got like this certain type of Gothic architecture, and the people you see kind of fit that bill, and like you're fighting lichens, which apparently is a theme for PlayStation right now. So yeah, but you'll see me running around, and let's play a Souls game, boom. So you'll notice I'm not carrying a shield, which is what I carry in like every game. There is one shield I found in this game so far, and it's a joke, and I think it's like a joke on purpose, because they don't want you to play the game like that. Even that guy's shield's a joke, like you see him, and you're just like, screw you. But every weapon is like a switch weapon, so tapping L1, boom, I've just made this like a long axe instead, with swings, like huge swings, big old powerful swings, but then I flip it, down to one-handed, I can use that in my pistol. And so, your pistol does have ammo, and you have a certain amount of health items. And what I've been finding out recently, whoops, wrong button. What I've been finding out recently, actually, is, so like, I could still pick up, even though I'm full on blood vials, which is how you get your health back. If I pick them up from dead enemies, it actually goes into a storage, so when you go back to the Hunter's Dream, that's actually what's filling it back up. Because I have so many Quicksilver bullets, they actually don't let me pick them up, because I don't use them as much. But yeah, so normally this is like much brighter, and there's a lot more orange, especially because of the fire, but I think like this darker tone, plus like the lighting on the fire, and like the water and stuff, looks way better. So let me kind of get into this guy over here. So the first thing is there's no more fat rolls. There's no more equipment load. Everything is a light armor basically. And when you're locked on, you're dashing. You're swift in this game. Oops. So this game kind of promotes the idea of you being more aggressive too. So granted, I'm plowing through these guys. Oh, I guess I can't pick up more blood. Yeah. Oh, I had that backwards. Yeah. Pick up more blood vials. Can't pick up more bullets. Which is good. I kind of need those. But yeah, so they want you to be more aggressive. So they want you to jump in, and dodge these guys with rifles, and just start getting into the combat. And they support that with one other thing in this game. So you'll notice when I get hit, there's an orange meter on my life bar, like kind of like a Street Fighter game where that'll regenerate if you don't get hit. Instead, in this one, the way you get that back is actually by cutting someone and getting their blood on you. So, for example, I'll let this guy hit me. He'll come over here. Alright, get up here. So I'll let this guy hit me, right? Hit me a little bit better than that, come on. Give me a good hit. Yeah! Alright, if I hit him back, boom, the blood goes to my health. So they want you to get in and get your hands dirty in this one. They definitely promote kind of more an aggressive play style, which is very different than how I play these games. I've always turtled up, you know, using a shield and taking my time. And, you know, I still take my time, but this game wants you to be... It doesn't want you to, you know, I guess, pussyfoot around. It wants you to get into the action. Let me get over to this big guy here, and I'll show you another thing that's different about this game. So, this game does not have a straight-up back attack. You can't just circle strafe around someone and get a backstab. It just doesn't work. So, instead, what you have to do is your... Oh, I don't think I can do it on this guy. You have to do your charge attack. So if you hold down R2... Let's see if he'll let me do it. If you hold down R2 behind him... I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off on this guy. Oh, well. If you do it behind him, though, it'll stagger him, and then you can do, you know, straight up just stab him right in the front, and you know, wreck shot. It's the same thing as we're posting before, but instead you have to actually kind of get the hit in the back. Let's kill these crows because they're creepy. They're so weird. All right. So, oh, this threw me off at first too. I mean, man, holy cow, that's not even that much blood that splattered on me. Like normally in this game, but yeah, I don't think that goes away until you die or go back to the Hunter's Dream too, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so you still have, you know, all of your items that you can swap through here, but it's only down goes through your items. So you know, you have your quick slots here to just like before, and your armor and all that. But square still uses that. Up will actually use your health to give you quicksilver bullets. And triangle is now your heal button, because they just, like I said, they want you to be more quick and in the mode, so they don't want you fumbling through anything, and oh, I already did that, and all that. So yeah, they just want you to pop that item and go. Let's see, I need to find like another big dude and try and pull off something. I actually think, too, this, like, first area was harder than some of the other areas because all these dudes with the rifles. You're just, like, you kind of get thrown into, like, these bigger pieces where, you know, these dudes are shooting guns at you out of the gate. Luckily, there's kind of invincibility frames for all the dodging and stuff, so that really helps. Oh, okay, here we go. This'll work. Let's, yeah, we'll fight these guys. Like I said, lichens, man. These guys are actually a little tougher than, like, still. But yeah, I play this game totally different than I played every Souls game. It's kind of crazy to me. So yeah, if you got my long stick here and I do the charge, boom, double spin, knocks him down. It's really cool. It's helped with a lot of big bad guys, just because, you know, you get a couple of these guys chasing you, it's not as bad as before, but when you get a couple big guys, you're like, ah, crap. Like, 2 lichens, like, granted, I'm way over-leveled on these ones, but 2 lichens like that is usually a little too much. And, so, yeah, you want to be able to deploy a move where, you know, you're knocking them down and, you know, getting a good hit in at the same time. I might need to teleport to a different area here. Because I need to show you how this pistol and these guns work. Because, you know, they are good for basic long range. They're not as good as like bows where they're like a viable option to take stuff out as well. Oh, jeez. But their big thing is they're kind of like your shield for riposting. So you want to interrupt enemies in their swing. I can get this guy to do it. Nope. I don't know the timing on this guy, so bear with me. Yeah, and then it makes that chime, and I missed it. So hang on, we're going to try this again. Alright, let's get it. Alright, and then... Oh, come on. There we go. Boom, that's that stab I was talking about. That's another thing where you're once you hit that, you dash in, and you know, you want to get in that and take them down. So, and bosses are affected by that. So there's a boss. Most people, it's the second boss, but yeah, like if you're not playing him like you play a PvP hunter, like someone invading your game and throwing in those interrupts and trying to fight them with your gun and stuff, it gets tough, and you're not going to beat them just by getting more hits in. You need to throw in those interrupts, or you're just going to be fighting them too long, and you'll run out of resources and all sorts of stuff. So it's definitely worth it for you to, yeah, to learn that skill and be good at using both the ways that your weapons work, with your switch, and mine's two-handed and one-handed, and the combat's very different on those. And actually, you actually have three combat buttons. When it's, for me, left trigger will actually be the pistol. I'm not going to shoot it because it wastes. Of course, you have your light and heavy, and you hold it down and you get the big attack. Excuse me. But like now I have L2 as this, and I have R1 being this, and R2 being this, and holding R2 being this. It's a lot more combat options this time around. I feel like they are really cool about that. And another thing they do too is when you're hitting like that and you hit the switch, boom, it's another attack that flows out of that. So you can switch on the fly, which is really cool for kind of changing the situation. Like once you take down, say, maybe one of two giants, now you can switch back to the small one and hit those interrupts and stop worrying about area sweeping with all of your weapons and longer versions of them and whatnot, and get back to being more one-on-one and doing more damage that way. So you could hit a dodge, hit L1, boom, get right back in it. So it's really versatile. It's really cool. So let's go to, I guess, maybe another area or something. I'm not next to any bosses, otherwise I would try to fight one, but, let's see. Well, maybe, or was I? Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, we'll go here. I should have thought this one out, where I could have tried to get to a boss with, an original character, and, maybe I'll do a, get to one of the big bosses you'll find that people run into right away that give them trouble for like starters and stuff is Father Gascon. Gascon? Yeah, I remember this because it sounded like Gaston to me. But yeah, so Father G, as most people will call him. That's kind of the one I'm talking about, with getting those interrupts and stuff and using your pistol and weapon the right way, and kind of fighting him like a hunter, because he is a hunter. So yeah, like maybe I'll do another video here for like next week or something, throw it on Monday for you, to just kind of show you maybe like a tutorial of like a starting character, to get maybe through the first two bosses or something. So maybe we'll do a couple videos for that, because I love this game. But yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a little more going on in this game, which alters the game quite a bit from a normal Souls game. So, I mean, yeah, you are playing this like a Souls-ass Souls game, But, that's another thing I totally forgot about. So okay, let's talk about these changes really quick. Obviously, there's the regen system. I got all my life back from that monster that just hit me, because I beat it up. You also have, you also have all of the stuff with your being able to slot things to your weapons. And actually, I didn't mention this because I totally forgot about it, because I've only seen one in the game so far. There's runes where you can slot those to your character. I actually have one that boosts my defense, just like I slotted it for the weapons earlier. Very similar, but not as common, so that you can't just, beef your dude up that way as well. So another big change too is insight in the game. So in the top right corner, you'll see how many, well, for lack of a better term, so people know, souls I have, even though they're actually, it's blood, something or another. But you'll see, insight is that eye. So you get insight for kind of clearing areas, seeing bosses and defeating bosses, helping out in co-op. I think it takes insight to invade a guy's game. Oh, dang it. They always drop blood vials, I swear. Well, I might as well take that one too. So one thing that insight does is there's actually a vendor, which I'll go back to. I'll show you some of that stuff too. So it goes to, dang it, it goes to a vendor, so you can buy, some armor and stuff from some of the boss characters, or that's actually how you get all of the multiplayer bells to invade and co-op and beckon and all that. Well, actually, the beckoning bell you get from something else, but like the two bells to be in another player's world are from gaining insight, and that vendor doesn't show up till you get 10 insight. So you won't see them right away. So it kind of makes you get used to the game, because you only get insight certain ways before that, like seeing a boss and kind of getting to enough of the areas. So it's a nice, easy way for them to kind of bridge that, which is cool. Here we go. But insight also, which the game I don't think explains this. Insight also changes the difficulty within the game. So that monster thing that kind of showed up in that red earlier never showed up when I went through this area before. And it's because I got all this insight now that enemies will do different things. So these guys are the same, but I'll teleport to another area that actually shows what I mean, because I know there's a couple enemies that just had like these, basically like these wooden crucifix looking things, and they just hit you with them, and it's just like a blunt weapon. Now they hit you with like fire or something. So yeah, insight will change that stuff a little bit here and there, depending on what it is. Man, I really like the look of this game. There's just so much stuff going on. Hey, lady, how about you quit, alright? I want to try and get her. Let's do it. Oh well. Just wrecking my stuff. Alright, anyway. So, yeah, there's also, like, NPCs in this game. Like, you don't necessarily run into, like, they still have that stuff from the Souls games. Like, I've run into a couple people, like, out in the world that have, kind of like that subquest stuff that you can go with. So I ran into the Crow Lady, and you can kind of help her fight other hunters and do these things. And she'll give you items to do stuff further in the game and get other items later. Or you could kill her and just take her cool costume, which I do not condone. Let's see. Oh, here's that table, by the way, where once you unlock this... Oh, I did get a couple of them. Didn't even think about that. More blood echoes. Oh, I equipped all of them. So I did know that. Okay, yeah, so I actually have 3 of them equipped to my person. So I have, physical damage reduction, more blood echoes from vicious attacks, and then max miles up by 1, which is nice. So then there's... Yeah, so these little guys and their little chalice being creepy and stuff. Yeah, they give you different stuff. So when you beat bosses, you actually get like a badge and stuff from them. So, for example, in the armor, because you don't really see a lot of vendors outside of in here, so I can get Father Gascoigne's garb and all, like his whole costume, using insight. And same thing with Henrik the Hunter. It was another guy I took down who wasn't really a boss, but he was another character that was being a jerkwad. Yeah, so like more insight will get you other things that don't normally give you, and that's the same thing for down here. Like, I didn't know for a while that how to get more weapons, but you get these different things, and like I can buy this repeater pistol now. I might get that. Might be kind of cool. Anyway, like you only start off with like the one, and eventually you can buy these by getting the different badges and stuff from there. Same thing with the Tomb Prospector hood. I don't know where I got this, but like I said, you unlock the ability to buy them. You don't just get them, but there are some that you do just get. Like I got, let's see, the schoolboy's outfit, the student attire, which I actually like the look of a lot. I just, bad stats on it. So I've got my a top hat. Grr. So yeah, I just kind of like to mix and match it because I think things look cool. You know me. I've probably said it in many games before, like, this one looks awesome, actually. I kind of like that a lot. But I think, was it the other one? Black church garb. Oh dear. That doesn't look bad. I like the look of a lot of this stuff, actually. Yeah, I gotta have my physical defense. But I like this jacket a lot, so I'm sticking with it. and everything fits thematically, which they've always been pretty good at. So I really appreciate that actually. Um, what did I say I was going to do? Oh, I know. Fjord. But yeah, so there's, like I said, there's a lot of small things in this game that change what it means to be a Souls game in a sense. And that's, it's not changing. I guess that's a bad way to put it. It's not changing the style of game. But what it does in this game is differentiates itself quite well from, Dark Souls and Demon Souls. So, you know, it is making you more of an aggressive player. It doesn't hamper you from doing that either. It gives you a little bit more combat options. It gives you a little bit better co-op options as well, since you can be a little more direct with playing with your friends. It handles like that differently. It gives you stuff to slot in your weaponry, and it does stuff that, like I said, it changes it enough to let you know that this is different, and it's not just like here's the same game with different levels. And for the most part, yes, it is a Souls game, but that's never been a bad thing to me. I think this is where those dudes are at. No, this is where those big dudes are at. But I think, let's see. Actually, let's get this guy to shoot flamethrowers at me, because that's cool. I thought it looked good. Let's see if he'll do it. I think, yeah, he's got one. Just good lighting, good fire effect. I like that. Looks good. Let's take him out, though. I'm on fire. These crows, I love them. They're so creepy to me. Little crows that slither on the ground and then jump up and freak out on you. It's awesome. It's great. Man, it's so weird going back to these areas and they don't look the same because of the, it being darker and stuff. Alright, so yeah, this guy. Okay, this is worse, actually. So now I'm at 19 insight. This guy just doesn't have a cane that he hits me with. This guy has this spell that he shoots out now. He's got that little lantern that shoots that crap out, and I hate it. Ugh. Luckily, it disappeared right before it hit me. That was nice. Yeah, before he was just like that guy. There we go. But yeah, I mean, Bloodborne, seriously, like, very happy with this purchase for sure. I said it before, I was extremely excited for this game in my, Game of the Year I'm sorry, not Game of the Year, but my most anticipated of 2015 games. Shucks. See, yeah, he's got like a rune or something in that thing now that I think made me mix. Oh, that's what it is. Sorry, my headset's getting low now. Let me plug it in really quick. I'm coming. I swear. Technical difficulties. I mean, not really, but anyway, scooch closer to my TV. So that's what these guys have. I just realized what it was. So there's like that dizzying weird thing going on here. I might actually let one of these guys take me out, but like their weapons, like have I think it's like an AOE on making me kind of go insane or something. But I'm gonna let this guy take me out though. Yeah, see, it's like building up regardless. But so okay, I'm hoping this does what I want it to do, because they do a neat thing with how your blood echoes drop. So before in a Souls game, they just fall on the ground and you just have to go pick them up. There are times in this game where enemies like that will actually absorb the blood echoes in them, and you have to kill that guy to get them back, not just run in, pick them up, and dash out, I thought that was really cool. And you'll see them in the, hopefully you'll see it here. His eyes glow like purple, so you can see, like, that's the guy who has my blood echoes. I need to hunt this bastard down, because the whole game is really big about the whole idea that you're a hunter, and you're hunting down the beasts, and there's a lot of NPCs and stuff that actually communicate about what's going on. Like, we're staying indoors. These people running around hunting, killing blood and stuff. I don't know. There's lots of blood. So let's see. Oh, dang it. I forgot I wasn't at the other, I thought I was at the top of the stairs one. This poor old lady, she was such a bitch. And then I helped her, and now she's crying, and I feel really bad because I feel like she might be going crazy. I think that dude, that red dude that was sitting back there, might be a creeper, and he might be a murderer. That's what I'm thinking. We're just gonna dash right up there and try and fight that guy, because they don't aggro you once you go in that door anyway, so we can just run past everyone. Another quick note too, this game does have all of those, you know, like, instead of turpentine or whatever it was to give you flame swords, there's like fire paper and stuff you rub on your blade, and you can do it for your pistols and stuff too. Yep, he's got it, he's got it. Let's get in here, unaggro the giant. Let's do this the right way, huh? Ah. Oh no! Dang it. Alright. There we go, there we go. That's what I wanted. Give me them echoes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but no, this is, like I said, it's the best one, I think. It's super, super fun, super good. And the slightly lower difficulty really helps, I think, appease more people. And, you know, I will say, most people that say, like, oh my gosh, these games are notoriously known for being the worst, and, you know, they kind of don't really help that by naming their website preparetodie.com. But, yeah, they're not as hard as people make them out to me. There's definitely a challenge to them, and I think it's a challenge that's very rewarding, and I think it's a challenge that's, you know, appropriate, and it's not something you can't overcome, and it gives you a sense of satisfaction that most games can't touch. So yeah, I think this game is fantastic. Now I do have one complaint. I just thought of it. So before, in Dark Souls, since the whole world is interconnected, which I love that this game is too, the whole world's interconnected like Dark Souls, but it has a hub world that's great like Demon Souls. It's like the best of the two games that the Miyazaki made. Because Dark Souls 2 is like a different team. But this is one thing I hate. The bonfires would let you teleport to the different teleportable things. And Dark Souls 2 did it, I think, for every bonfire, to make traversal a lot easier. In this one, you can only return to Hunter's Dream and then teleport to something else, because you have to go to the different graves to do that. But man, is that a pain in the ass when the load times suck. But regardless, that's like the only complaint I have for this game. You know, I would say definitely get this game if you have a PlayStation 4. Maybe they'll release a PC one, I don't know, but I know this is like their big exclusive right now. So yes, definitely get Bloodborne.